Allard's neighborhood. Small town feel with big time ideas. After all, you are entitled to Brad's opinion. Here's your host, Brad Allard.
Well, you caught me looking at my phone, but that's not unusual. I'm trying to get all this technology down. I tell you, technology is Satan's way of tormenting us. I have all sorts of issues.
It is both a blessing and a curse, I feel.
Yes, it is. But, I'm trying to do that radio station thing I was mentioning before the show, and it's like, it isn't rocket science, but it might as well be. I feel like some kind of Neanderthal they dropped in the middle of the 21st century. But anyway, how y'all doing, ladies?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm fine and dandy. And you're going to talk to us about poop, I believe. And
we are.
We still got the cup and all that. I would have wore the shirt, but I had class this morning. And so, I have a dress code I have to adhere to. And no T-shirts at DBU, that kind of thing. But anyway,
Did you wear your Baylor hat to DBU?
I don't wear it in class. When I was teaching Hill, I just left Hill. And after 20-something years, I just, I'm kind of burned out a little on teaching anyway. But DBU, they pay decent, so why not? But anyway, no, I wear my Baylor hat pretty much because I want to try to cover up my rapidly balding head. And, if you got men in your life, we're all a bit vain. So what can you say? So, before we get into all the ads and whatever else, why don't y'all just go around the table and introduce yourselves?
All right. I'm Jessica Saucier. I am the Secretary-Treasurer for the Amanda Mann Clark Project.
Mm-hmm. I'm Alex Strong. I'm the President of the Amanda Mann Clark Project.
Mm-hmm. And I am Brittany Gokas Browning. I am the Director of Events.
I've been calling you not by your proper name then.
That's okay. I go by either.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She has many names.
All right, I'm sorry. All right, Browning, that's your married name, but Gokas is your maiden name, I suppose, or previous married name.
Previous. Well, yes.
Okay, I got you. All right.
It's a long story.
It's
There's the diagram.
It's kind of like Liz Taylor with all those names. I never could figure it out,
Anyway, I'm the Director of Events and Community Outreach.
Oh, that must be a fun job because you know all the details of putting these things together.
I do.
I've talked about this before with other groups, and they think putting on these things, these events, these productions, basically you pick up the phone, you call Martin House Brewery and say, hey, we're going to be there. And they go, okay. No, there's 110 details, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And always one at the last minute pops up, it seems like.
Yeah, she does a great job. I can't keep up with her, honestly.
Well,
very resilient.
I guess
very flexible.
So. I guess, oops, I hit the wrong button. See, that's why I'm not good at this. Let's do the ads before I, take us off the air. Okay, well, thank you, Otto, for all you do. I was there just last week, twice last week. So you'd think I was, a piece of furniture or something the way I'm over there. As always, great food, great service, whatnot. I talk to other people and say, well, these people sponsor. Oh, I love our place, or I love Gina's, or Wild Cigar. That's what I like about my sponsors is that they make me look good, not so much I make them look good. So there you go. But thank you, Otto. And also, Gina's got all this activity going on. I know on Sunday nights he has live music that he's really pushing pretty hard to do because it's a big event. It really is. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. It is. A lot of our local talent. We have a lot of musicians. I mean, a lot of people know about Kelly Clarkson and all that, but we have a ton of talented people in this community. Are you going to have live music at your place, at your party?
We have a DJ.
DJ, yeah. Okay, that's good. Also, thank you to our friends over at Wild Cigar. They do a lot of civic stuff. If you're talking about sponsors, you might want to shake them down. Talk to Nathan. He's a soft touch. All right, so, no, he's both he and Chris are good guys, and they want to be part of the community. And so they do participate in a lot of these things. Y'all ever been to Wild Cigar? I don't know if y'all are cigar smokers.
No.
But I'll be going and talking to Nathan.
Nathan the cigar guy, as I call him. A good time is in the morning. They're open at 10. You think, well, that's how far early for a bar. Well, they're actually more of have a big humidor. That's where they get a lot of customer traffic is through that humidor. And so if you do know of people in your life that smoke cigars, that's where you send them because, when I first met them, I thought a cigar, there may be differences, but not that big a deal. Oh, no. I thought when I said that in front of Chris, he was going to smack me one because it's, there's all sorts of different cigar tobaccos and whatnot. So, people that know what they're talking about, go there. Also, thank you to our friend over at Old Pro Roofing, John Williams. 817-734-2756. the weathermen, I think, are in league with the grocery stores. The more they hype it up, everybody goes crowding the grocery stores, and then, it went south. Oh, it went north. Oh, it fell apart in Jacksboro. Yeah. Anyway, but you need to have your roof inspected. The insurance companies are getting more and more difficult to deal with about old damage. What they define as old damage is anything that you haven't reported within 365 days. And, and a lot of people will say, unless they see water coming through their ceiling, they don't think they need any new roof. And he'll go up there and he'll tell you, no, you got some real problems. Or he'll tell you your roof's fine. He's not there to, upsell you. So he'll tell you the right story about your roof. So that's why I like John so much. He's part of my BNI group. I have several others that have been part of this process. They're in my BNI networking group. Also, thank you to our friend Jeff Kelly over at the Wethington Agency at 817-781-0546. If you're looking to buy or sell in the Burleson area, talk to him. He'll be on the show in about 3.5 weeks. We're going to talk about rates. We're going to talk about, what's going on with the real estate market. I mean, it's still happening. You read about in some communities where it's slowing down. We're pretty steady here. Also, if you want to get a hold of him, Jeff at jeffkellyrealty.com. Hotworks. Are y'all familiar with this outfit?
I think so.
I am. I know our good friend Hillary, who's on, loves Hotworks.
Oh, yeah?
She goes to the one in Burleson all the time.
Well, then she goes to the right one because my friend Michelle runs that outfit, and she's really into fitness. Not so much like, a lot of people don't understand that this is a different kind of workout. It's all infrared, and, and it's low stress. It's not there to body build and all this other stuff. I mean, there's some weights, but not. They have 11 different workouts. So if you want to go there for flexibility or something like that, or cardio, they got a whole thing. And by doing it with an infrared system, it maximizes the workout. So go over there. It's over in what they call the Burleson Commons, over by Kroger and the theater and all that business over there. So go check out Michelle's studio. It's very, very nice, and it's secure. I went to see her Tuesday. And, it's middle of the afternoon. It's still, you got to either have the code or be let in. So it's a secure location. Also, I think we're getting close here. Local Life Magazine. I'm not sure what the next issue is going to be. This issue deals with somebody y'all probably know. It's Texas Hughley Health Center. Isn't that where y'all work?
I work at Hughley.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that was on the cover about their health center and their workout facilities and all that other business. And it was, fitness magazine. Tiffany always has a theme. Like in December, it was the nonprofits. This month, it's, it was the fitness and all that. And I don't know what's going to be. She'll tell me when she gets around to it. But anyway, 30,000 homes get it. A lot of businesses I know get extra copies. So while you're waiting and whatnot, like waiting for a table, you're waiting for your car, you're waiting for whatever, people glance through it. So it gets a lot of views. Also, one last thing, Burleson Buzz is going to give you all the news. We had a big city council meeting Tuesday night, and apparently there's some people that are all intense, as most people do, about city council meetings. And Cody will have his report on it today, I'm sure. And when I talk about that radio business I'm involved in, that's going to be my main source of local news not my main only source, but a good source, main source. So Cody O'Brien does a really good job of keeping us informed of what's going on. Okay, now I know you're fighting the clock, so Brittany, you go first. Tell us everything we need to know.
Yeah.
Tell us all the things.
If you want to pull up the flyer that has all of our events, we can go over that really quick. So today, of course, we're here. We appreciate being here.
Oh, I appreciate y'all. I mean, colorectal cancer and colonoscopies and all that may not make for riveting discussion topics, but it's very, very important. And that's the purpose of this show. So I'm glad y'all are here.
Yeah. So February 21st and 22nd, we're going to have a booth down at the Cowtown Marathon. So we'll be passing out information about colorectal cancer. We've got some recipe cards that I'm having printed to pass out that are just healthy snacks instead of all the processed foods.
What do you consider a healthy snack?
Something not processed.
Okay, good.
An
Something
apple.
not processed. My wife's got meat.
An apple.
Yeah, there's some good. I mean, there's some things that you can put together, like your own trail mix, nuts, dried fruit that's not been processed.
Well, that's kind of what my wife's on that. She's been trying to get me to eat more apples, and I've been doing that, and it's okay. You know, I'm not a big fruit guy, but okay.
One of the recipes is a walking salad. So you core the apple and put peanut butter and raisins in the middle.
She's done that with not the raisins, but with the peanut butter.
It's good. Anyway, we're going to be there passing out information. We're also going to be passing out shoe charms that are kind of like the charms that you put in a Croc shoe, but it also has an attachment to attach to shoelaces.
That's interesting.
And then anyone who, while they're running or just that weekend, tags us in a picture or a post will get entered into a raffle.
What's the prize? That's the big deal.
Yes.
Everyone wants to know what the prize
Hopefully we're
is.
going to be getting more, but right now it's a gift card to the Fort Worth Running Company and then a gift card to Target.
You know, those are, I like those the best. You know,
The
Target.
gift cards?
The gift card to Target. I mean, if you gift card to a certain specific outfit, that's fine. If you like it, you know, if you get, you know, if I can get a gift card for, you know, something I don't usually participate with, then that's nice. But Target, you got the whole store. So.
And then March 8th, we're going to be doing, sponsoring again, the Get Your Rear End Gear 5K that the Colon Cancer Coalition puts on every year. So we'll be doing that. And then the following morning, we have our big Cornhole for Buttholes tournament. That's a fundraiser specifically just for us. And then April 24th and 25th, we'll be down in Granbury on the square at the Granbury Wine Celebration.
I've been to that. It's been a little while, but I've been to that. And it's nice, very nice.
We had a lot of fun. We were there in November, I believe.
It's like mid-November. It was
Yeah.
awesome. It was so fun.
I started making wine glasses, calling them bottoms up. And they're wine glasses with a
Of course.
a picture of somebody from behind, and their butt is 3D.
They're
So it sticks out from
they're
the...
so cute.
How do you think of these things? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
She's now like she's thinking about starting her own like Etsy shop.
I
Like,
have the
she's
Etsy
so good
shop
at this.
up, but I haven't had a chance to like make them to put them on there to sell.
I've never been on Etsy, and I don't know if my wife has been. But
I'm sure she has.
you know, I try not to think about it. She gets on the computer and she checks all this stuff out, so I just let her. It keeps her out of trouble.
Well, as soon as I get the page up and rolling, I'll send it to you so you can send it to your wife.
Thank you. All right.
And then May 3rd, we're going to have another charity event at Kinder Scott. They do a Kinder Scott Gives Back. So 20% of every purchase during this specific time period will go back to us. So we'll be in the store from 12 to 2 off of University in Fort Worth. But then usually it's 24 to 48 hours online sales. As long as you put our code in, then 20% will go back to us.
But we need to get you on the show before that Kinder Scott thing. You know, because Kinder Scott's a big deal. I mean, they sell a lot of stuff.
They do. And this is the weekend right before Mother's Day. So everybody can be
Get
shopping
all
for
your
Mother's Day.
presents.
And then June 27th, we have the Cleburne Railroaders Charity Spotlight. And we will be their charity.
They've already started that? Okay, because I've been trying to get hold of.
They haven't started it, but they've started the schedule.
Okay,
I think they start in
Have you
June.
talked to Kay yet? Or
Yes,
Kikadil?
I don't. It's not Kay anymore. She got promoted, I believe.
Oh, no wonder.
It's
Okay.
somebody else now.
All right. Well,
Congratulations to Kay.
But we
Yeah,
are
good for
scheduled
her.
for June 27th.
okay, that's
And
my
that was-
birthday.
Oh, yay. You should come celebrate with
Yeah,
us.
celebrate. Well, I've been to a few of those games, and I like it. It's good baseball.
It's a lot of fun. It's a great
so
family
fun.
event.
You know, it's first time I went there, I said, what kind of baseball I'm going to be watching? But I'm going. It's what the heck? It's cheap, you know, whatever. And it's good baseball. It'd be like watching the Rough Riders up in Frisco, AA level. And so and it is affordable. It's family friendly. It's the whole thing.
It's so family friendly. We had Amanda's children up here, and her son threw out one of the first pitches.
I remember that.
It
now.
was the most precious thing, and so they're going to be up here again this year. But they've got bounce houses, they've got all sorts of fun kid activities. I think is it the day that they're doing fireworks, Brittany?
Yes, it's
Oh, nice.
it's a firework event.
You need to be closer to the mic, is what I'm trying to
Get
tell
into
you.
the mic,
Okay, there you go. Because you're kind of echoing.
what are you-
I remember, was it you that told me that you got teary eyed when you saw her boys throwing out that first pitch?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I think we
okay.
all cried.
And then they walked around and talked to everybody, passed out flyers, told everybody about their mom. It was so sweet.
Are they going to do it again?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good. I mean,
they're,
the kids
they're
going.
super stoked. They're
They're going to be
can't
up
wait
there for it.
Well, I did not know Kay had been promoted. I'll give her a holler.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, she.
Don't hold me to that.
No. Just
If not, she should be.
Well, that I agree with.
I'll
yes.
just go ahead and put that out there.
I've gotten to know her a little bit through past sponsorships, and she does it for the love of baseball, you know, and that's nice to see. It's my favorite sport, so what can you say?
Yeah.
All right, so you got a lot going on, but the biggest one coming up is the
biggest one is the Cornhole for Buttholes.
yes. If you have that,
It is
one,
going to be at Martin House Brewing on March 9th from 1 to 5 p.m. They have obviously all their wonderful drinks. I swear they have more and more beer every time we're there that you can choose from.
They do, and what's
they have
nice-
non-alcoholic.
They do. I'm sober. I've been sober for 5.5 years, and they have some really great NA options, which I really appreciate
That's-
being someone who's sober.
I read a lot about dry January, and you know, it's a good thing. I have mostly dry January. All right, but no, I limit myself mostly to wine these days. So, but anyway, I could see how easily it can get out of hand. So, you know,
Yes.
you don't think it's getting out of hand, but it can if you're not don't have somebody in your life to say, hey, wisen up. So anyway,
Anyway, we'll have drinks, of course, Martin House Brewing. And then they have a food truck there that will offer food. We have a DJ that will be playing some fun booty-themed music. And we also have a butt sketch artist. That's always a big hit. So anybody that
popular.
comes, it's a free sketch. It's a charcoal drawing of you fully clothed from behind. We have a lot of families that even come up and do
I'm trying to
like
think of songs
everybody.
that are booty related, other than Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Baby
There's a
Got
long
Back.
list.
Baby Get
There's
Back,
lots.
yeah, oh yeah.
Big booty girl.
I promise there are more than you think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, of course,
yeah.
I just listen to hymns, but anyway, so. But anyway, I can
Start
see
start
that.
watching my stories on Facebook. I usually try to connect some booty song to it. I'll start that.
You know,
pretty soon.
I see your reels there on Facebook. You know, I don't normally hit them, but I will now if you'll be going to be playing booty music.
That's right.
Yeah,
Get your dance on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's not a pretty sight. It's kind of like the episode in Seinfeld where Elaine is dancing.
Kicking.
Yeah, right. You know,
thing.
yeah. She makes me look like, you know, I don't know,
Professional.
Soul Train dancer or whatever. But that's a reference probably well beyond y'all's.
No. I
Very
watch Soul
familiar.
Train.
Yeah. I could watch Soul Train in my uncle's house because my dad wasn't really that big into it, you might say.
Yeah.
You know, he'd walk in my room, I'm listening to Earth, Wind, and Fire, and he says, I'm going to have to go talk to your mama.
Oh, no.
You know, but anyway. Well, so you get it. So what do people need to do? I know they can show up, but if they want to participate, you know, like vendors
Yeah.
and sponsors and such, how can they do that?
So they can either text or call me. The phone number is on the flyer. It's 817-909-7986. Or you can always email at browning@amcproject::.org.
Browning at amc.colon.org. Oh, I've got that all messed up.
Yeah,
Try it again.
bbrowning@amcproject::.org.
Okay, is it on that flyer?
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is.
Oh, okay. Well, I got the glare on the screen, so I can't really see
Bottom
it. as
right.
well.
That's okay.
All right.
That's okay.
Anyway.
So it's $100 per team. And you get a T-shirt with that, an event T-shirt. And then for the sponsorship packages,
Do we have that?
there you
We
go.
do.
Oh, there we go. Good.
So,
Well, he's really on top
He
today,
is.
Josh.
On it.
He's
Well
doing
done.
fabulous.
Thumbs up.
All right.
The big one is called Badonkadonk. It is a team of
boy.
two plus a guest for each team member. So the 4 people total. You get a meal for each team member from Martin House. So you'll have 4 coupons to take up to their food truck to get whatever meal you want, and then 3 beers for each team member and guest. So 12 beers total. A T-shirt for each team member, and then you get your logo on our T-shirts, recognition on our website, social media, at the event, and then you get a cornhole set for each team member to take home.
Really? Okay. My brother-in-law makes those but, for various, not for making a living. He does very well doing his real job, but he does it for like to contribute to like these kind of events, you know, as a sponsorship thing, you know.
Well, we need to get in touch with them then.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
Michael Green, if you're listening, which I doubt right now because he actually works for a living, but he makes them, and you know, you might have to deal with the Texas Tech logo on it, but I don't know. But we'll see. but I know he and my sister, they participate in a lot of these things. They live in Corsicana. Is it worth the drive?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, I thought so.
absolutely.
It's so much fun.
It is it's family friendly. Bring your dogs. It's going to be covered. So if for some reason the weather's less than desirable, we'll be protected.
Well, it's now March 9th is a Sunday. It's also, I'm looking on my calendar, it's daylight savings time. So you'll have more hours,
Yes.
more daylight to work with. Yeah. Did y'all plan that or just?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. That was on purpose.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
All right,
We'll see.
so our next sponsorship package is called Rump Shakers, and that's for $1,000. You get a team of 2, a meal for each team member, 3 beers for each team member, and then T-shirts for each member, logos on the shirt, on the T-shirt, and then you get recognized on the website, social media, and at the event, and you can take home 1 cornhole set. And then Cutie Patootie is $500. You get a team of 2, a meal for each team member, 2 beers for each team member, a T-shirt, and then a logo on the T-shirt. And then we still, of course, put you on social media and website, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'll ask Jessica about that because I know you have to leave fairly soon. I'll ask her about y'all's publicity, so to speak, how you're getting this out there other than Facebook, because Facebook is great and wonderful, but,
Yeah, we have Facebook, Instagram. We do have a TikTok account, but I'm not great with TikTok yet.
well,
so.
apparently a lot of people, are having
And
questions
then we
about
also
it.
will have it on our website.
Okay.
And then Sweet Cheeks is $100, and that's just for a team of 2, and you get 2 T-shirts.
That's wonderful. I like these names, but let's say I just showed up there without any team, or I'm sure you'll take any donations, but the public, they don't have to pre-register if they just want to show up at Martin.
No,
Brewery
yeah,
House
just
and-
come, enjoy the fun, get a butt sketch, maybe buy some merchandise, make a donation, whatever.
Right. So
Enjoy
it's
the
Just have fun
DJ.
and watch.
yeah, that's probably the best way for me because I'm not particularly good at cornhole, but there's some people that really take this seriously. And when I saw it on ESPN one time this summer, I thought, "Are you really that desperate for programming?" But I guess so. But,
It's a big thing.
it is, I guess so.
Yeah.
And I saw and I have like a collegiate, NCAA type competition for cornhole. I thought, they give scholarships for that? Yeah. Well, they do for bass fishing.
They do.
apparently.
They
Yeah.
do
Well,
for bass fishing.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're getting a scholarship for it, but we got recruited for it, so that's good.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
forget to tell them about the special awards. The
Special
team name
awards.
And
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So, well, anyway, you get first place prize has a beautiful new trophy that we have. You just have to come to see it. You also get 2 cornhole board sets, 1 for each team member. Second place gets another trophy and 1 cornhole board set, and then third place gets a trophy also, and then they get some AMG or AMC Project swag and Martin House swag.
where are these cornhole sets coming from? I mean, it sounds like you get more than 1 or 2 out there. Is somebody donating these?
Not donating, we're purchasing them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we've got some that are going to have our logo on it, some that will have the cornhole logo, and then I'll be painting a few of them.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd like to think again about my brother-in-law.
Yeah, that would be great.
If I can get a hold of him and say, hey, build me a couple of cornhole sets and contribute
be
to them.
awesome.
Yeah, I'll see what he got going on. He's, I talk to him quite often because he and my sister live very close to my parents, who both are in need of constant attention, you might say. They're at that age. And so I'll be talking to him very soon. But anyway, so it sounds like you got a lot going on. And on top of this, you got families and jobs. How about that?
Yeah.
We're also going to give out awards for the most team spirit and then the best team name.
I think you've taken a lot of the good names off the table. I mean,
You'd be surprised what people come up with.
Oh, I don't know. You said, okay, it needs to be, somewhat, related to the gluteus maximus theme we got going on here. I bet you got some real beauties, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun.
Hopefully
and it's
in good taste, but whatever.
It is. Everything is in good taste. We wouldn't let it go through if it wasn't.
Okay, that's good.
It's very family friendly.
Well, that's good because we need those kind of events, and there's plenty of them. I tell you, this town is got coming up in the next 3 or 4 months. There's going to be a bunch because about this time I start hearing from. Use my English right. I start hearing from other groups and say, well, we got some on April 25th, or we got some coming up in late March. I know that Seat on the Hill has something first week of May. On and on and on. So this is a busy time, not just for me here at the studio, certainly, but for a lot of these nonprofits, And that's what's so great about this community is that we have people like y'all that do these things, because I don't think people realize just how much work goes into these events. I mean, I'm sure you do, but I mean, it is. It's 101 details every day, seems like. And then, you know, on March 8th or whatever, at 5:00 p.m., right before your show, oh, by the way, the DJ has, you know, pneumonia, so blah, blah, blah. Not that I want to put that out there. Yeah. Well, but I used to do stuff for school, you know, through student council, and that kind of stuff happened all the time.
Yeah.
You know, you plan something, and then right before, you know, the power goes out or something like that. So, you know, this is, I don't envy y'all. I really don't, because it is a lot of work.
It's really
It
fun,
is,
and
but it's worth it.
It is worth it, and Brittany's she's an absolute star.
And
so.
your husband must be a pretty darn good sport.
He is. He volunteers a lot.
Now, whether he likes something, he's volunteering or voluntold, as they say.
I would say voluntold, but he's pretty. He loved Amanda also, so he's.
Oh, so he knew him before. Okay, good. All right, and sure, y'all spouses did too. So, as far as the reason why you do all this is to raise colorectal cancer awareness and the need for colonoscopies. And we've talked about this before, but I think y'all's presence on the show really has helped a few people that I know.
That's lovely.
Well, they've told me, I've had 3 or 4 people. I mean, you don't really hear a lot of feedback like, oh, you know, I need to go get a colonoscopy and then go do it, but they don't call and tell me about it, you know. But I've had 3 or 4 people, and since y'all been on the show, just like your 3rd or 4th time, I believe, and they said, you know, I need to get that taken care of. In fact, right before I got on the show, somebody texted me and said, hey, I got to get on the air. Well, what are you talking about? Well, I didn't say butts or poop. I just said colorectal cancer awareness and colonoscopies. Oh, I need to get that taken care of.
Yes, you do.
And that kind of thing. And so, and he's like 36, 37. Is that too young for that?
No, not at all.
Yeah, I didn't think so. What age is the best age?
Well, the government's mandated that 45 and up is when screenings should occur. Insurance, if you have insurance, will pay for it as a preventative. However, you can have symptoms as young as in your 20s.
Well,
you know?
The last time we were here, we had a guest that had colorectal cancer, and she was in her 30s. All right. And I was friends with her mother through that networking group I mentioned before. And Hillary was her name.
Yes.
But I can't remember her married name. But
Melendez.
Melendez. All right. Okay. But Hillary, you was talking about, you know, and she's in Amanda Clark. How old was she?
35.
Right.
Well, Hillary was 32,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
When was Amanda 35 when she found out
away.
about it or passed away?
When she passed away.
But she was sick for about a couple of years, right?
1 year.
1 year? Okay. So she was 34. And then, you know, so this is not something like old men like me get.
No.
You know, and that's what a lot of people think of. When they think of colonoscopies, they think of old coots like me, you know, in a very revealing gown,
I mean, you still
asleep.
can.
Yeah.
You still can, but
Yeah.
there's even a statistic out now that by 2030, colorectal cancer will be the #1 cancer killer for those 50 and younger.
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
More than like other types of cancers that may be brought about by habits like smoking or whatever else.
Right. It will be the #1.
I think what's so hard is that people live their lives and they're like, oh, this is my normal. This is how my bowel function is. This is my normal. And it's not normal. It's not how it should be. There shouldn't be rectal bleeding. There shouldn't be changes in stool. There shouldn't be bloating and pain, you know, all these things. And so you could be in your 20s, 30s, 40s. And if those things are occurring, you need to get it checked out because they're not normal. That's not how your bowel is supposed
And then
to
I also
function.
think that people aren't comfortable talking about those
No, 'cause
things. And therein lies the problem.
Not everybody's as comfortable to talk about poop as you ladies are.
We're so comfortable.
Do y'all do this around the dinner table? Oh, by the
Yes.
way, I was looking at a
Yes.
guy's stool sample today. Oh, pass the stew, please.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to go out to eat with us.
no.
You really don't want to sit next to us. Yeah.
You know, this meal reminds me of a whatever. No,
It's happened.
I wouldn't doubt it. But, you know, I guess another problem is that, you know, people who will get these symptoms, I've been told, and y'all told me, confuse them with other things. You know, they don't think it's cancer. They think it's just irritable bowel syndrome. Or they think it just, you know, that's the way it's always been. I've had, you know, intestinal troubles forever, and they don't associate with cancer. So sometimes that cancer, it sounds like to me, can be hidden under these other symptoms.
Absolutely.
Like for females, we tend to blame it on our menses, on our hormones, our cycle. for men, especially men who exercise, lift weights, like if there's rectal bleeding, they're like, oh, it's just what I'm doing to potentially cause that.
I don't worry about that much. It's not going to be my problem.
Or like anxiety, a lot of people have irritable bowel. And irritable bowel is only irritable bowel once everything else has been proven negative, right? It's a diagnosis of exclusion. And so a lot of people connect that with anxieties and stress and just life in general, but it definitely could be something else.
Well, not to get too personal about my mother, because I don't know how comfortable she'd be about me bringing this out on the air, but she's had intestinal issues, and that was the first thing they checked on was colorectal cancer, and fortunately, it was not it. It was some other symptom. But that was the first thing they checked.
Good.
And because I guess maybe they heard the show. I'd like to think that. This doctor, no, I understand now it's become fairly common if you have these kind of symptoms that could be related to colorectal cancer. That's the first thing they'll look for. And like you said, if it's going to be that prevalent, particularly in young people, that surprises me a little bit because people think of cancer, they almost think of, other types of cancer as being more lethal. But this one sounds like if you don't have it checked, you're going to have a real problem.
Right.
Yeah. And, just like breast cancer, just like, cervical cancer, some of these different cancers, the sooner you identify it, the more likely that you can treat it. So that's why we're here to talk about, just listening to your body. And, if you're having signs and symptoms, does it mean you're automatically going to have to get a colonoscopy? No, but it means you need to talk to your doctor. And there are some other tests that can be done.
Right. There's not all of them have to be colonoscopy. I'm not trying to get rid of you, Brittany. Don't you have a appointment to go?
I do.
All right. So
But thank you so much.
All right. I just want to give you an opportunity to make your exit and whatnot, because I know you're having a scheduled appointment that
I do.
Well, take care, and we will see you at the events, and try to get some rest. Okay. Now, as far as the other methods of checking, well, my doctor's given me something that was kind of like go in between colonoscopies, just is a kind of a crude checkup, if you will, and the sticks, if you will, the little, and I'll let y'all describe how they're used, because I just like. Wow.
There's one that's a card, and you can smear some stool on it and send it in. They'll check for blood, but the problem is not all cancers bleed. And so you're missing a large portion of potential cancer that hasn't been bleeding.
Yeah.
There's, I think I've had patients who have had a very small polyp, and it's actually grown through the colon into the abdomen, attached to the appendix. And so it's a good starter test, but I wouldn't put all your eggs in that basket, There's also Cologuard, which is really good. It's very high sensitivity and specificity, and that's you send a stool sample into their lab, and then they run some tests on that and look at different DNA markers. And that's actually a really great one for people who are hesitant about going under anesthesia, maybe don't have great coverage, insurance.
I think that's a big problem right there.
But also it's, especially even for patients or people who, are on blood thinners or just don't have time, things, because it takes a good, day and a half, 2 days for the whole colonoscopy,
Prep process.
and all that.
No, I stretched it out the post colonoscopy for about 3 days. Oh, Robin, will you give me something? I'm still recovering from
We should have talked
surgery.
with her and told her she didn't need to listen to that.
Well, that lasted about 12 hours, when I got back. And by that night, she's like, you get up yourself, you lazy bum, whatever. But, I said this before when I'm talking to y'all, but I just can't imagine when these kids are in high school. So I can't wait to do stool sample examinations. That's going to be my career.
It's definitely not the first thing that we thought about when we went into nursing, but then we figured out pretty quickly that it was part of it.
Yeah, nursing is a pretty gross profession sometimes.
It really is. But it's interesting. I teach a lot of my patients, pay attention to what comes out of your body, because it tells you something. Whether that be your skin showing you something, your stool, your urine, the smell of your sweat. I mean, your body tries to tell you where the dysfunction is,
It's interesting. Because there's other people I've been talking to about my age, and I'm surprised at the number of guys I run with have not had this happen yet, this colonoscopy. And I'm like, I didn't want to go do it. But I think the biggest thing that guys my age is I don't feel anything. I feel fine. Second of all, that notorious prep process. Now, I didn't really have that big a problem. I mean, I've heard all these
so
stories.
much better than it used to be.
Yeah, like one of my buddies
much
was
easier.
telling me about it before I had mine, and he's like, "Oh my God, you better take you several books to read or something because you're going to be in that men's room, the toilet, the whole night, and that kind of thing." It really wasn't that bad for me. So I guess they've improved that
Yeah,
product.
the horror stories. I mean, they're in the past. Is it pleasant? No, it's not pleasant.
It's a
but,
beating.
but it's definitely completely doable and not nearly as bad as these horror stories that you've heard in the past.
Are insurance companies getting any better about some of this preventative care? Because I hear stories that some companies are okay and some are like, they'd rather deal with you after you're like about to die.
Yeah.
I don't know if now's the time to get on my soapbox.
No, that's what's about it.
I just,
she's pulling up her sleeves.
Insurance is there to make money, period.
Yes, they are.
They will deny and refuse anything, and that includes preventative.
Right,
as well,
and I don't understand that. It's like why would they? Because colonoscopies, I mean, have to be much less expensive than full-on cancer treatment.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, right. You want to get my
Absolutely.
son worked up? Talk to him about insurance companies. He thinks they're of Satan, and there's some times I think he's got something, or sometimes it gets a bit wound up, like hey, you're starting to froth up there, bud. But it's like, I hear these stories all the time. It's like, why would insurance companies be so difficult about a colonoscopy when they're possibly liable to be on the hook for full-on treatment, which is, an ongoing and expensive process?
I don't know the answer to that.
I
I do know that most insurance companies, most decent health insurance companies cover colonoscopies at 50. I don't know if they've gotten down to 45
They've gotten.
yet.
Most of my patients at 45. They've not had a problem with coverage, and then there's even some that if you have a strong family history, like your mother, father, brother, sister, first line generation, they'll cover even earlier than that.
Well, I was going to ask you that. Is this something that may be hereditary or genetical?
Can be.
Can be.
Can be. Okay.
Can be.
Because that's not my family history. My family history is cholesterol and
So it definitely
crankiness or whatever.
It definitely can be. And if you have a family history of it, you want to be extra super careful. But like, for instance, Amanda, she did not have a family history.
what was funny
Hillary
was
did either, did
I
she?
don't think Hillary did either.
Yeah.
yeah, there was. Well, I know what was interesting is my friend of mine said he had to get colonoscopy because his wife's family had a history of it, and it's like, and he's like, I'm not part of your family, but
Maybe it was just the awareness. Like, he's like, maybe I should also.
my great grandfather had it, so therefore you need to get checked. And it's like that's not my bloodline, but anyway.
Right, yeah.
But did Amanda's family have this?
No.
No. So this was something totally.
And she was very healthy. She didn't
Very
smoke.
healthy.
She liked to
She
run.
ran marathons.
Yeah.
Like, she was a super healthy
She
person.
ate well.
Yeah.
It was a shock to all of us. It really was.
We don't really know, I'm sure, but what could have caused it in a healthy person like her?
There's a lot of we don't know for sure.
Right.
There's
I mean, it could be any
there's
number
a
of
lot
reasons,
of speculation, and some of the speculation, especially if you think about the the younger people getting it, and the introduction of plastics and microplastics and processed
Red dye.
food into that particular generation's early development. You could correlate it, but again, correlation doesn't always equal causation, so we don't know, but we have suspicions.
No, it's interesting because it kind of puts some politics in it. Robert Kennedy Jr. may be ahead of all this Health and Human Services, and a lot of people think he's kind of a whack job. But the truth is, not everything he says is wrong, right?
Not everything he says is wrong.
Right. And my wife and I were listening to him, so that actually is right. Some of the additives to our food don't happen in other countries.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that just like when you go to your doctor, you don't want a doctor that looks unhealthy. You want someone that practices what they preach. And so if I'm having someone tell me what I should do as a medical provider, I want them to look the part.
So you don't want some
know
guy
what I
walking
mean?
in with a cigarette and a highball saying,
I don't need someone that's,
"How you doing?
that
Turn your cough." Oh, it was for me.
looks like they've been making a lifetime of poor decisions and they've continued, but they're going to tell me how to practice medicine. Like, I don't dig that at all, you know? So, I mean, that being said, as we're all human and we all have our own vices, but I think he's also not intimidated or directed by lobbyists, which I think is very important in this industry because the whole healthcare system is broken.
Yes, it
really
is.
is.
And I'd like to discuss it with my son more, but he gets so worked up so soon about it because he has to deal with insurance on his own. He has type 1 diabetes, and it's
Oh, yeah. So he knows.
and he knows,
Yeah,
and
gets it.
all this other stuff. And as far as my wife and I deal with insurance companies, we have Blue Cross, and they're fine. You just have to kind of nudge them every now and then. But I think a lot of people also, because their deductibles are so high, that they just say, I want to save that in case I have a car wreck or whatever. But they get kind of put off by the expense out of their own pocket. And that's not good.
Yeah,
No.
I completely understand. One of the things that we do with the AMC project that we're trying to do more and more with the fundraising is give to these colorectal programs and say, please use this money to cover someone who can't afford the deductible or something of that nature. So that's one of the ways that we use our funds for the AMC project, because we know that Amanda would want people who can't afford to get a colonoscopy or pay the deductible to be able to do that.
Right.
That should never keep you from getting medical care, is the fact that you can't afford the bill. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just don't do it because you can't afford that. So,
Well, I'm pretty politically conservative, but I remember when they were talking about the Obamacare bill and all this other stuff, it wasn't like it was a totally unfounded
There were some
concern.
good things. There were a couple of good things. that
Yeah,
came out
well,
of that.
for me, I know that it kept my kids on insurance longer, and
Yep.
and I would never get health insurance at my age with diabetes like I have. I have type 2. But there's all these other issues, and we could debate whether it's good or not, and, some of it was good, some of it wasn't. But the impetus that people need coverage and better health care is still with us. And so I didn't have a problem with what was motivating these people. But, I didn't agree with all their conclusions, but I knew that something had to be done.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. It's going to be really hard. You mentioned that Mr. Kennedy is not so persuaded by lobbyists.
I hope.
Congress is. That's the deal. He may be, immune to that, but not the members of Congress. And that's going to be where the rubber hits the road on these things. So that's a whole nother conversation. But as far as what y'all are trying to do is try to, in some cases, ease that financial situation.
Yep. So, first of all, we want to spread awareness about not just young adults getting colorectal cancer, but everyone, particularly young adults, because it's not on your radar. We also, the funds that we raise are for not just helping to spread awareness, but also we support colorectal programs. We support cancer, all nonprofits that have a further reach than we do and better connections than we do in order to make Amanda's message and life spread further. And then, additionally, we have we'd like to support some research, but since we're small, we're not sure how to do it. And so what we've decided to do is to help those who are on research projects by helping with travel related costs and things of that nature.
That's, y'all started off small, but you're bigger now than we were then.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And so as your awareness of your program grows, those things may be more possible. But almost all of these nonprofits I dealt with started like y'all did. A group of people decided, okay, something has to be done about this particular issue. It wasn't like Harvest House or these other things just came out of nowhere. I mean, it started smaller, and now they develop into, something pretty substantial, like our friends over at ASD. Lisa, by the way, when I segue just for a moment, guys, y'all may be aware out there in the vast listening audience about Lisa Boltinghouse's need. Did you know she's lost her lease as of June? And, she has 6 months, so they didn't throw her out, but the church that she works from needs that space. And so they said, we'll wait till June, but she needs a space for her Center for ASD. So do y'all have like a separate place, or do y'all just do it from your home?
Oh, it's definitely from our home.
It's all remote.
Yeah, well, someday you may, take a space like over at the hub over in Burleson or whatever, and have like a landing spot or something like that. And I don't know, have y'all worked also? I know we have a clinic in Burleson, the Christian Caring Physicians Network. I always get the name mixed up. You know what I'm talking about?
I've not heard of it.
I've not, but I'm based in Fort Worth. So.
Okay, yes. Well, you're based in Fort Worth too,
Burleson.
right? Burleson. Okay, well, it's over on by the parking lot of First Baptist on Haskey Street. There's a nonprofit health clinic. You might want to talk to them and see about
I wonder, I mean, I doubt they offer colonoscopies.
They
but
offer quite a bit.
if they do, then that would be a great connection to make. Are you writing that down? Okay.
Well, and also the House of Hope here, a block from here, Catty Corner, literally, and Elizabeth Becker's going to be on the show Monday. They have a clinic, and Texas Hughley, the health center, will have. They're not doing colonoscopies or any major thing, but they may be able to tell people, "Hey, you need to have this done." I mean, they're mostly there to take care of the kid has a fever or I have some illness to take care of. They're not there to perform surgery or anything like
If
that.
anyone from those places are listening, please reach out. I think Brittany's, could you flash the flyer up that has Brittany's email on it? Because we'd love to hear about your needs, especially related to colorectal issues. And even if it's just us giving some of our flyers that talk about signs and symptoms of colorectal cancer as something in the waiting room, like we'd be happy to do
absolutely. Do you have somebody that makes these flyers for you?
that. Brittany.
Oh, well,
She's incredibly creative.
well, I mean,
she
not
just-
only designs it, but produces them like mass production.
No.
Because I have a friend I can hook you up with.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Please let
part of my
Brittany know.
B9 group. I'll give you his number
be right,
afterwards, and
yeah.
y'all could talk about what.
Yeah, so B Browning, it's at the bottom right of this flyer, B Browning at amcproject:.org. And then I'm J Saucier, and this is A Strong. So
Well, the person I'm talking about, off the air, I could tell you more or less how to get hold of them and roughly how much it costs. But and things of that nature. His name is Al Warner over at Bass Printing. I can say that, but I can't begin to tell you how much or whatever y'all coming around to. But he's a good guy, and he's doing my flyers for the radio station and all that.
yeah, I'm sure that Brittany would love to talk with
But
him.
yeah, but if you wanted something like that to put on their counter,
Yeah.
and or on that Caring Physicians Network, that clinic over there, it's like I said, it's on Haskew. If you're going down Renfro and you turn right after the QT as you're heading towards, heading south. And it used to be, I'm a part of that church that has that property. It used to be our place. We had Promises Community. Now that's on Renfro. So now it's an old space.
Okay.
And so it's near, a few businesses and whatnot. And they don't do major inspection like this, all right? But they have 3 full-on rooms. They have telehealth. And so let's say somebody comes in there with these symptoms. They could say, well, this is a possibility, and you'd have your information out there. And I think, 9 times out of 10, it may not be something they actually have needed, but that 10th time, you saved a life.
Yeah.
I think also it's important too to be able to help connect the dots for patients. So they go in with this complaint. We've helped kind of educate and spread awareness to the providers there, but also giving them different avenues of like, these are the different GI groups that we've partnered with. Here's a grant at this particular hospital that can help pay for it. So when you take away those, pieces of friction for the patient, they're going to be a lot more likely to go through with it because they don't have to figure it out. Because when you're scared and you don't know what's going on and something's wrong and you're not sure what, it's easy just to kind of bury your head in the sand.
It is. I would have liked to have done that, but I had my beloved spouse wouldn't let me do it.
For shame.
And I know. But it's the way they call them the better half, isn't it? So, but it's everybody listening out there, it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was. In fact, I had a nice nap. I slept all the way through it.
It is a nice
Propofol
nap.
gives you an excellent sleep, I just have to say.
I woke up.
Jessica, you enjoyed yours, right?
I
She's
really
like
did.
finally quiet.
Yeah, it's like, I remember going on the table and they give me the anesthesia. I'm like, you feel anything? No, I'm really not very good at
Just out.
I mean, it hit me, and the next thing I know, I woke up in the recovery area.
Brilliant.
It was cold, but it was cold. But
Yeah.
and same thing in a related type of thing. I think guys my age also need to have cardio
Stress tests.
Stress tests.
yeah.
I had a catheter, which I slept through the whole way through, and fortunately didn't need any stents or anything like
Thank
that. But now I know, right?
Yeah,
And-
actually, it's funny you said that. My husband, he'll be 52 next month, and I said, you know what? I really want you to do a cardiac stress test.
So he'll be 52. He's a cradle robber. Then I'm going to look. That's what I'm thinking.
I'll be 50 this year. Thank you very much.
No
I'm
way.
proud of
She's
it
lying.
too.
Yeah,
She's like 32.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, was he hanging around the high school when he met you? Whatever.
No, but I told him, I was like, we really need to get you a stress test because he does have a family history of cardiovascular, issues. And I'm like, I would really like to know now what we might be looking at, as opposed to having to like actually work and do CPR on you if you drop.
Gosh, no.
That would be a nightmare.
I mean, we do it.
Or at
but,
least
like,
being married to a nurse, you know what to do, right?
sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not
Sometimes
good.
it's not
We're
good.
like, do you have all your limbs? Are you bleeding out? No, you're fine.
Well,
You're
it's
good.
like my mother. She's a registered nurse, or was. She's well past her working age. But it's like when I'm sick, she go, get over it. I'm like,
absolutely.
thanks, nurse.
My kids say that on my gravestone they're going to put the quotes "take an ibuprofen" because that's what I say for everything. I'm like, take an ibuprofen. Have you taken ibuprofen?
Yes, yeah. That kind of thing, Yeah, it's not that she was unsympathetic, but she comes to her job and she's doing serious stuff, and I come in and I got a boo boo. You just put some dirt on it,
Absolutely.
I've been there.
Oh my goodness. Well, I tell you what, I have a date open and right before your show, the week of March, first week of March. Do you want one of those? I have 2 dates open. You want one of those?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Okay.
And by the way, March is colorectal cancer awareness
is.
Well,
month,
that
which
makes-
is why cornhole tournament is in March. So we would love to come in March
Yeah.
and talk again about all things bowels.
Oh boy. Well, there's Tuesday, March 4th or Thursday, March 6th. Tuesday usually works a little bit better for Taylor, but not always. We can work around the schedule with that far in advance.
I mean, I'm good for either. I can make it work this far in advance.
How do you think?
Yeah.
Tuesday,
would
all right,
work.
11 o'clock on Tuesday, March 4th.
That
Okay, I'm going
works.
to put it in right now so I won't
too.
forget, because I'll be forgetting it. So anyway,
Awesome.
so there you are. You're hooked up again, because this is right before your big deal, and like you say, it's colorectal cancer, and you just can't talk about poop enough,
I
right?
really can't. It's so
You
fun.
can.
Yeah.
I wish you would just let us just go crazy with it.
No, thank you.
You see his face. I'm starting like the medical lingo, and he's like, don't do it.
Yeah, no. All right, boom, you're on there. You're good to go. All right.
Stop, Alex.
Josh, you throw up the radio thing, because I want to bring this up in front of y'all, because this might be able to help. I started an internet radio station. I'm in the beta stage, is what they call it, because I had to activate it so I could work on it, but it's not. It's going to be much more broadly dispersed, so to speak, in about 10 days on TuneIn and Odyssey, and it's on the Live 365 app. And if y'all want to send me some stuff to audio, we could put it on as commercials, and it's not going to cost anything. I had a thought about charging nonprofits, my wife said that ain't happening. And she said,
sweet.
"Yeah, she is." She said that you're not going to charge nonprofits, are you? So, well, no, you're not. That was not that was a rhetorical question. But anyway, there are others. There's a couple other groups that are also taking advantage of this, and as far as technology, we'll talk about that in a minute. But that might be a good way to get it on there on a rotation, so to speak, and get the word out. So.
Yeah, we would love that.
Yeah, it's, like I said, I'm hoping on February 3rd I can introduce it formally. I had on that particular day, have the Chamber of Commerce on, so we'll talk about that. But it's going to have news, it's going to have updates on what's going on. It's going to have, hopefully, business advertisements. Somebody's got to pay for this. And then in between, it's going to be playing your best music from the 60s through 80s.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, all right. So, yes.
The best.
Yeah. Let's hope. Anyway, so that's. I'll always talk more about that, getting close to it. But right now, I'm working in steps, trying to learn the technology, trying to figure out things. So I didn't want to put it out there and everywhere, and they all watch me learn on the fly.
Yeah.
This way, only a small
Well, I love
group
that
is.
you're embracing that. You're embracing technology. You're embracing new things. You're not just kind of, just ho hum. You're
could.
jumping in there.
Yeah.
I did this about 3 years ago, and it failed because it was all music and it was all my music, and I thought everybody was going to like my taste, and I had all these different songs, but I mean, for a very wide range, and it didn't go anywhere.
But there's growth through failure.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I've
Absolutely.
learned two things. One is, make the list a little bit more coherent. Second thing is put it out there in different platforms because not everybody has Live 365, but a lot of people have TuneIn, a lot of people have Odyssey. And if I want to really spend some money, can get it on iHeart, but I'm not at that stage yet. So.
Yeah, not yet, but it might
Could
get
be.
there.
Yeah.
Could be one day, hopefully. All right. So y'all take us away. You tell us everything we need to know, and then we'll sign off.
Oh, Lordy. Go, Alex.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Well, okay,
definitely,
just some
yeah.
things we need to know then.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely check us out as far as our social media. We like to post about our events, sponsorship opportunities. We're definitely looking for sponsors for the cornhole tournament. There's a little bit of a deadline. Was it the first week in
I believe
February?
February 3rd is the deadline for
that-
sponsors in order to get the logo on the shirt.
Yes. So we'll try and be as flexible as we can, but we want to make sure that, that marketing piece is out there. So definitely you can text or call Brittany. You can email her. You can send us a DM on social media. But we'll be sending fun stuff out. That's kind of our main way of communicating is social media.
Well, that's
right
what
now.
most people do. And that's kind of among other reasons why I want to do the radio, because the thing
Yeah.
about social media is that you have to kind of be intentional a little bit.
Yes.
And whereas the radio, you put it on the car or in the background, let it roll. Like when I'm doing my stuff now, I turn on my station and I'm kind of, I don't like that song. Take it off the list, whatever. But it's in the background and I don't have to do anything once I access it. Whereas with social media, you have to, you have to scroll through all of this and there you go.
Yeah. And certainly as a parting thought, just a reminder, we do this because our friend Amanda Mann Clark, who we've named the Amanda Mann Clark Project after, wanted us to share the news that young people are getting and dying from colorectal cancer.
Josh, you have her photo, don't you?
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, Brittany sent
This
it
is
to us.
Amanda.
Yeah.
Both Alex and I and Brittany were nurses with her. That's how we met her. And we've had, we had the pleasure of being in her life for 10 years before she passed. And again, this was her ask. She said, I just want more people to know that people my age can get this disease because I didn't know it.
And she wasn't listened to. That was the problem. She tried to advocate for herself and people pushed and pushed her off.
I remember you telling me that story last time, but that's a good reminder that sometimes you got to tell these doctors, "Hey, I really am sick."
Yeah, absolutely. You have to advocate.
And that's another thing. Listen to your body, ask for what you need, work with your doctor. And as far as insurance is concerned, I have one word for you, and that is appeal.
Absolutely.
Well,
Take the time.
see what y'all need is, again, my beloved bride is well-known insurance companies. They have her name on this list because when she gets on the phone, she's all
Beware.
sweet and southern, soft voice. She gets on that phone, Darth Robin comes out.
Robin. It's amazing.
I could not even see
I want
that
her
at all.
so badly.
She's so sweet.
She'll
Is she
have
the
a-
sweetest?
Yeah.
She'll have them in tears. So we have a kind of a work separation thing, a little division of labor. That's the better way to put it. I take care of the bills. I take care of most stuff. She takes care of the doctors and takes care of the insurance companies. And by golly, they better be on board because she'll, she gets results.
I would like if, it might be nice to have someone on the crew to be able to give tips and tricks and strategies on how to appeal and how to fight insurance. So I
Is she
feel like that
interested
would be.
in joining a nonprofit? We have board-
she
we have
She
board
is a nurse. I
positions
mean,
open.
She works for
blend
Southern
right in.
Gym, and so maybe I don't know if she has the time, but she works at a local jewelry store. If you haven't been to Southern Gym,
I know Gayla.
you know Gayla too, yeah.
Gayla designed one of my wedding rings.
Oh, okay, there you are.
She's beautiful. I love
Yeah,
her.
and Robin's been working there for a couple of years, so
And that's another shout out. Like we welcome volunteers that want to join the board or even just volunteer. Like please do reach out to us. We're happy to have you.
We would, the more the merrier.
well, I enjoyed the show. I really admire greatly what y'all are doing
Thank you.
because I know you don't get paid, and this is all because of straight from the heart, and it's a great thing. And before you leave, I'll give you the name of the guy I'm talking about. I already said Al Warner, but I'll give you information and whatnot, and also about the radio connection thing more. Josh, thanks for everything.
Great
Yeah,
job,
thank you.
Josh.
Yeah, see,
Josh?
he's working out. We found him under a bridge, but he said, "You want a career in radio?" And look how it worked out.
Isn't that how it happens now?
Nice.
I tried.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
presentable.
Yeah, all right.
Great job.
All right, so we'll see you on Monday. But Monday have, like I mentioned, Elizabeth Becker from House of Hope, and then Tuesday have Victoria Johnson from the City Council.
Oh,
And
I love her.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
so sweet.
well, they're getting a lot of commentary about some trash pickup routine. We're going to talk about that. But she and I have known each other. I was her teacher, as you may know, and she they always say, what was she like as a student? Exactly what you see now. You know, she's always been really interested in this kind of stuff. But anyway, I digress. I'll just hope y'all tune in on Tuesday.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
You
thank
betcha.
you
I always
so
enjoy
much.
it. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.